Hey Chem Kids, Campbell here. In this video, we're going to learn the 4 rules for significant figures, and then we're going to practice them. So, first rule, any digit that's not a 0 is significant. So, for example, here we have 34.65. These are all normal non-zero digits, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 significant figures. Here in this number, again, all of these digits are not zeros, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 significant figures. It's the zeros that are tricky, and zeros can be in 3 different places, so we'll start at the beginning. Zeros can occur before non-zero digits, the ones that I like to say that they're at the front of the number. Those zeros are actually never significant. They're just kind of a placeholder to give this number value. So these numbers right here, these zeros right here, those are in front of the number. They're in front of the non-zero digits, and they are not significant. So it's not that they're not significant to the value, but they're not significant figures. So that means we only have 2 significant figures here, the 3 and the 9. Here's another example, 0.152. This is a 0 in front of non-zeros, so it is not significant. And so we have 1, 2, 3 digits that are significant. Okay, what about zeros in the middle, right? They can be in the front, they can be in the middle. So when zeros are in between non-zero digits, those are significant. So here we have a 0 at the front, not significant, but here we have a 0 that's in the middle. So we have 3 and a 0 in the middle and a 4, and so these 3 digits are significant. Here we have 4005. These zeros are in the middle of non-zeros, so they are significant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. All right, last place zeros could be are at the end of a number. So this is another tricky thing though, because zeros at the end, it depends. It depends upon if there's a decimal present anywhere in the number. It doesn't even have to be by those zeros, but the zeros at the end of a number may or may not be significant. It just depends upon where the decimal is. So for example, here we have a 0 at the end, right? This is 980. There's no decimal here, so that means this 0 is not a significant figure. It doesn't mean it's not important to the value of the number, it's just not a significant digit. So that is 2 significant figures. Now I put a decimal place here because, I mean, like, would you ever see something like that? Sure. If that was important to the measurement, then this 0 is significant because I have a decimal place here. So that means that all of these numbers are significant, and this has 3 significant figures. Here I have a decimal place. So that means the zeros at the end are important. They're significant. But the 0 in front, right? Zeros in front, never. Zeros at the end, it depends if there's a decimal. Yes, there's a decimal, so that means there's 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures in this number. Here is a number with zeros at the end. Again, there's no decimal place here, so that means they're not significant. They're important, but not significant. So that means we only have 2 significant figures in this number. All right, let's try some more. What about 0.002? How many significant figures are there? Well, this is rule number 2. Zeros at the front, never. So if you said 1 significant figure, you are correct. Here is 200. So we have zeros at the end. So this is rule number 4. Zeros at the end, it depends if there's a decimal. There is no decimal, so you should have said 1 significant figure. Those zeros are not significant. Here's another one, 0.00233. Rule number 2, zeros at the front, not significant. So if you said that you had 3 significant figures, you are correct. How about 200.0? So we have zeros at the end, right? That's rule number 4. Zeros at the end, it depends if there's a decimal. Notice that we have a decimal place here. So that makes all of these significant. That's 4 significant figures. How about 203? Well, it's rule number 3, zeros in the middle. Zeros in the middle are always significant, so that means all of these numbers are significant. So that's 3. And here we have 2,060,000. Zeros in the middle always, so those guys count. Zeros at the end, it depends if there's a decimal. There is no decimal here, so this 0 is not significant. It's important, but it's not significant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you said 6 significant figures, you are correct. So in summary, what numbers do we count as significant? Rule number 1, non-zero digits always significant. Rule number 2, zeros in the front of non-zero numbers never significant. Zeros in the middle always. And zeros at the end, it depends, yes, if there's a decimal anywhere in the number. So it's time to check your learning. So scroll under this video, you'll see a link to a Google form where you're going to test your knowledge of significant figures. Good luck. If you have questions, let me know.